Hi, everybody. It's your old pal Chuck, and it's a shakedown. It's a takedown. You're busted because we're looking at Transformers Collectors Club, a figure subscription service breakdown. This is a repaint of their convention exclusive G2 breakdown, which was a repaint remold of their club exclusive Punch Counter Punch, which was a repaint retool of Classics Red Alert, which was a repaint retool of Classics Generations 2.0, whatever it was called, Sunstreaker, which was a repaint retool of Generations Sideswipe. This mold has seen a lot of use. It is a great mold. The designers, I remember back in the day, had said they were trying to do a very generic sports car that could fit Sideswipe and Sunstreaker, but it's been worked for a lot of other characters. This really does look like Breakdown. Um, Not sure if it's coming off on camera as well, but this isn't white. This is a very nice, warm cream color, closer to the original toy. I think it looks fantastic. They have all the detailed markings, the blue, the red, the Decepticon logo. They marked it off very nice. Since this is a reuse of that Sunstreaker Sideswipe mold, it does come with this elevated vent system, which wasn't part of the original toy, but has been worked in to this Classics design. It doesn't peg in as tightly as I want, but it doesn't fall out. One thing I do like, and I'm going to show you here, the blue is actually a sparkly metallic blue. You'll see that on the robot as well. I'm just going to put this off to the side since we need to remove it for transformation anyway. Other than that, if you're familiar with the mold, it's basically the same. You have the exhaust weapon right there. It transforms the same way. A few things I did notice. But we'll get into it more with transformation. The waist and the legs are a little loose, but not floppy loose. Also, the much maligned shoulder swivel is a little tight. If you've had this mold before, you know what to expect with the transformation. The positives of this mold are still the same. The negatives of this mold are still the same. And yeah, that's about it. So let's get into the transformation. Okay, step one of transformation is going to be the legs. First off, what you want to do is you've already removed the engine, that rear engine thing, whatever. Just come underneath and remove the gun. Put that off to the side. Come into the rear of the vehicle and swivel out these panels. They're on a double hinge. You want to swing them around so they're somewhat covering the tire. They don't really peg in. Next, what you want to do is just split the front ever so slightly, not pulling it out all the way just yet like I did, but it does make it a little easier to get to the legs. And you want to just flip out that entire rear section on the joint, and these will form the legs. By the way, I want to mention real quick, the instructions these come with, throw them out. It starts off as it's actually kind of funny because it's a half Sideswipe, half Sunstreaker hybrid instructions. You want to follow the Sideswipe transformation instructions. So if you have a Sideswipe, grab that. If not, find this video or somebody else's if you so desire. Now to flip the feet out, what I like to do and what a lot of other people like to do, raise the heel slightly. This will give you the ability to grip it, and then you're just going to flip it out. Now, the instructions very humorously have you do this whole rotation scheme with the foot. Basically, once it's out like this, just flip it so the toe is pointing in the same direction as that rear tire, because that's going to be the front of the leg. You're going to do the same thing with the other foot. And just like so. And if it hasn't already, split the legs, and then rotate them forward, well, forward in that it's facing the roof. And then you can stand him up. And we're going to move to stage 2 of the transformation. Okay, stage 2 of the transformation is a little bit of a pain in the tuchus. What you want to do is, let's come in from the underside. Go ahead, flip up that front bumper. It might pop up, it might not over time. You're going to extend the front of the car up. It is on a track. You then want to just start rotating the arms out and around, and what you want to do is rotate that black shoulder bar around so it's actually facing towards you. If you're transforming it like this, you want it facing towards you, just like so. And you can go ahead and straighten the arm out. The arm has to be bent slightly to fit under the car, but you're going to do the same thing on the other side. And it is very tricky, and a lot of times I feel it like rubbing up in a negative way against the plastic. Next, what you want to do is rotate those door panels around and then rotate the upper arm around. So the mushroom cap, which is right there, is facing towards the back for the time being. There is going to be a lot of rotation, a lot of flipping with this figure, because as you see, what we're going to do now is we're going to fold this chest piece all the way down, and after you remember from this mold, it really doesn't peg in. It's all friction, and you'll make sure it's still fully extended, and there we go. Yep, just like that. Now, those little shoulder bars, if you are familiar with this mold, are legendary pains in the tuchus. They just don't work well. There's really no place for them to lock in, but it's one of those things you can get different transformations. Rotate the arm down, and then what I like to do is just push the bar up so it's touching the front of the car. It's easier to do that when you're bringing the arms down. This does help with it being flush. Next, what you want to do is rotate the door panels up so they're like forearm guards. This side, incredibly loose. I have no idea how to fix that, but that is a little bit of a disappointment. But when you're using a mold that's been around for as long as this one has, that's to be expected. Do it on this side. Rotate the fist forward so the thumb is pointing up. This is one of the other things why I was laughing at those instructions. They had you putting the arms backward. On Sunstreaker, the hands were assembled properly. And then finally, what you want to do, you could have done this sooner, you can do it whenever. Go ahead and rotate the waist around so the knees are facing forward. And then, finally, what I always like to do last, the big head reveal. And it's just rotating this back panel right here, just like so, up and around, and ta-da! There's Breakdown's head. And let me clean it up a little for you here so you can get a good look at it. If you have that G2 remastered box set, you should recognize this. This is that square peg head mold, just done in his original colors. Kind of cool. I don't dislike it. I don't hate it. It is what it is. Frankly, my attitude is, why do one piece of a combiner when you're not going to do the rest, because combiners combine. But I do like how they really did replicate that square head look. It is on a ball joint. It actually works a lot better than any of the other heads that's been on this body, and it's very emotive. You can also see it's done with that same blue sparkly plastic, a orange-red goggles that sort of match the chest, and a bronze face. Moving down, you still have that cream color, but just a lot more blue. And, man, I wish those knee pads could peg in. But you have a little black detailing on the upper leg, down, and here we go. So, yeah. Let me pause here, and we can give you a little look at articulation. Okay, I already talked about the articulation in the head. The arms are on ball-jointed shoulders. They swivel at the bicep. They bend at the elbow, rotate at the elbow. I'm sorry, they don't rotate at the elbow. They rotate at the wrist, though. You do have some waist articulation, ball-jointed hips, single-jointed knee. That goes pretty far. And because of that hinge system with the feet, it is on a ball joint and you can move it around, although it is limited by the side paneling of the car. This has always been a problem with this foot. You can really only get it into certain positions, but what have you. Um, his extra pieces, you want to take this rear engine thingamabob. And then there are a whole bunch of holes, and that's for the different versions of the figure. You can go ahead and peg this in to the back like so, and it'll just be right there behind his head. Really sort of don't notice it. And the weapon can peg into his hand just like that. And like I said, this panel is extremely floppy, and that's about it for breakdown. Really don't know what more I can say. This is a fun figure, yeah, but yeah. So let me just pause here and give you my final thoughts. Just for some fun, I did put him in a modified version of the Sunstreaker transformation. That's with the windshield and roof being used as his chest, and it kind of works. I mean, you can, transform the legs around, fool around with that if you want an entirely different look. I think with the new head, it works fine, using the sideswipe transformation. This is now the fourth figure in the set. And after Circuit, I think this is a big jump up. I know a lot of people weren't thrilled with Circuit. But the other thing is, this is a mold that's, like, I think this is the fifth use. And it's a character that's, the G2 one was the mascot of the club, but the G1, it's just okay. Um, right now, this is going to go for about $47 or so in the club store. I know other places are probably going to mark it up for 60. If you're a fan of this mold and you know what you're getting, the issues with the shoulders, issues with the feet, what have you, um, then pick it up. If you're a completist for your classic shelf, I can see getting this, but you won't have the rest of the Stunticons, sorta. Um, but that might be a little more money than you want to spend. But yeah, that's basically all I can really say about Breakdown. It's your old pal Chuck for Breakdown. We'll see you next time. Now he's got to do a little shakedown. Yeah, yeah. Okay, that's enough.